Today we're going to look at Wave's Curves Equator. Curves Equator is a dynamic processor that removes resonances from your audio, but it can do a lot more. Let's dive in. This is what it looks like. Let's pick a bit of verse 2 here.
I'll stare at the paintings of birds flying high. There's no time for waiting. Reminds us how free we could be.
What we've done here is we've basically let it learn where the majority of the audio is happening so that we can then use this as a threshold to figure out when we want it to detect. Think of it like a threshold on a compressor.
I'll stare at the paintings of birds fly.
So when we have it up, it's not doing anything, and when we have it all the way down, it's doing a lot.
I'll stare at the paintings of birds flying high. There's no time for waiting.
From there, what we've got is the sensitivity. So that is basically a range control. This is the threshold of the compressor, and this is how deep you want it to go.
I'll stare at the paintings of birds flying high. There's no time for waiting.
Then we've got shape, which can be in line with warm, pink, or flat. So what is that? Flat is basically like white noise. Pink is pink noise. So pink is gently rolling off. And then warm is even more. Then we've got the ability to tilt the threshold one way or another so that when we bring it down, we're affecting more or affecting less of certain parts of the frequency. We've also got crossovers here if we want to break it down into 4 different parts of the spectrum. We've got advanced controls. This has auto makeup as part of it. So you're always going to hear the signal roughly the same level so that you can make educated decisions about how much you want to push this. Then we've got precision. So this will give you a lot more bands of EQ. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is a linear phase dynamic processor. Generally speaking, linear phase, I'm not a fan of. It's a little bit like artificial sweetener to me. I do wish that they had a way to switch it off. In fact, I'm going to have a look and see if you can switch it off. It doesn't look like there's any other settings apart from that. Other controls, the tilt frequency, so you can figure out where to put the middle of the seesaw so that you can tilt around that frequency. Mix is mix. Not sure what the lock is for. No, what is that for? Locks the mix value, allows you to change presets while keeping the mix unchanged. That's a cool feature. I like that. Not that I really want to flick through presets, because to me, this is about tailoring something to the source material, which is what that curve that it originally came up with is all about. To me, that's a really good starting point. And then from there, you've got 8 bands, and it's a little bit unintuitive. The more you boost, the more you want to hear the frequencies that it would otherwise be taking away. And if you're pulling it down, then you're going to have it focus more on that area of the spectrum. Basically a compressor on steroids. Let's go back to the start.
As people keep driving to places I dreamed of, I'll still be hiding in a safe place that I call home.
So I probably want it to be more brutal on the low end. It's a bit of mud down there.
As people keep driving to places I dreamed of, I'll still be hiding in a safe place that I call home. As people keep driving to places I dreamed of, I'll still be hiding in a safe place that I call home. It's what I call home.
Just made a bit of a volume adjustment there. I probably want to move the tilt frequency down and tilt the EQ this way. Maybe not have it be so brutal.
As people keep driving
And that sounds pretty good without me needing to do too much.
As people keep driving to places I dreamed of.
So just cleaning up some of the low mids sounds pretty good. I would like to move on to something a little bit more challenging. So I know for a fact that this guitar solo here is a little bit scratchy in the mid range. All right, so what I want to do is get curves equator on it. We'll have it learn the signal. Just a real strong whistle tone in there, which I think is here. So I want to have that focus in on that. Let's bring that down a bit, make it a bit more sensitive. So what I'm doing there is just making it less sensitive in those regions. Probably less sensitive here would be good too, and just have it focused in on this, all this whistling that's happening from the guitar. And I'm quite happy to just have it focus on that area. So before, it's not 100% gone, but it's a lot better, and it didn't take me much to get it that way. And so that actually enables me to get the whole guitar louder, because it's no longer those frequencies poking up out of the mix and limiting how loud I can push that. So much clearer. All right, moving on. All right, last but not least, I've got the strings. So these strings, they are masking the lead vocal. Have a listen to the chorus. I've just soloed the voice and the strings.
I'll say my goodbyes. It's time to keep an open mind and leave.
What I've done is I'm feeding out a bus 4. Bus 4 is coming into the side chain for the strings, And then I've turned off the auto makeup gain because when it's pulling the frequencies out of the strings, I don't want it to then add the gain that it's losing. I just want the strings to get out of the way of the voice. With it on.
I say my goodbyes. It's time to keep an open mind and leave my old self behind.
Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and see you next time. Happy mixing.